It's approaching magic hour, my favorite time of day. It's also when I seem to record most videos. And I'm currently walking across the yard and I'm going to a new little meadow expansion in the kind of food forest propagation nursery space. So I'll show you what it looks like. We just did it a couple months ago, so it's pretty fresh. I'm walking up to the main entrance now between these large boulders. And you can see I got a little DIY soil screen made out of some shelving. It actually works pretty well. And we've got brambles and in the background a bunch of firewood and elderberries. But this is the meadow. And all the stones that came out of the meadow when we were just basically doing some clearing and moving some things around were used to make these walkways. And some of these stones are gigantic. It's amazing this was even able to be moved. And the walkway, which is under wood chips, is these large flat stones that are only 3 to 5 inches thick. It's kind of amazing that they exist in such a flat state like that. But if you can visualize what this is going to look like, there's going to be chives growing all along the rocks. And then just on the inside of the stones, the boulders, are going to be elderberries and currants that will drape over the stones. And there's cultivar apple trees in here. There's a bunch more apple trees in here. And down there, well, every orange flag you see has a plant. And there's probably double the plants than there are flags. So I keep going down here, a big pile of wood chips that needs to be moved. But you can see we've got some Willoughby black currants, more black currants, some red currants, and chives and currants just everywhere. Here's a poor apple tree that looks like the deer have not been nice to. And more currants. Oh, deer ate this one too, and that's probably from yesterday. And we've got elderberries, Avorecia flag. The majority of the varieties in here are Scotia, Marge, Birdie, and I believe York. We've got a bunch of brambles right here. I'll go show you those. A cute little strawberry patch. It's very small, but we're going to let it run all the way down the slope. These are Caroline cultivar, and they were put here. They're Caroline, and they were put there. They were put here just 3 months ago. So these were last year's canes that were moved, and they still produced. Pretty happy about that. Oh, see the deer are eating them over there. Gonna have to deal with that soon. And right over here is something I'm really excited about. This is a thornless blackberry called Triple Crown, and it has not had the easiest life, but this is its permanent location after getting moved twice, and it looks like it brought with it some horseradish. I'm gonna have to move that because that'll get real big. There's a bunch more cultivar raspberries. Just walking downhill here. Lots of these blackberries. These are the bane of my existence. I just don't know what to do with them yet. There's just so many. This right here is going to be an amphibian dragonfly pond, and it should have more water in it now. There's one frog right there. I wish I could zoom in. Oh, I can. See if we can go take a visit. Nope, we're not. It's no big deal. But this is going to be a dragonfly amphibian pond, and you can see this bowl of the landscape right here. It's a very shallow, natural bowl between a bit of a ridge there and a ridge that's over here. And so there's a trench dug on the high side. The trench will be lined with brambles on both sides. Whenever we get a deluge or a heavy rain, the trench will collect the high side water. It'll flow through this pipe to aerate this pond and fill this pond, and will drain through that drain pipe right there, which will go down there to another much larger pond that's not yet dug. And down in this whole area here, which is currently growing nothing but sedges, much to my sadness, is going to be even more crops and more perennials. And we're doing something fun. We actually seeded this whole area in clover and brassicas. And I don't see any brassicas right here, but there's tens of thousands of brassica seedlings. Oh, here's one right here. This is going to be fun. I mean, I like kale. I guess why not plant a meadow of kale? That's going to be interesting. So you can see here's another perspective on this meadow. And it's pretty good sized, about 120 feet across and about 50 feet deep right now. And there's another large boulder. And for example, this is a pretty good indication of what's happening here. We've got a native red elderberry, multiple apple trees, and multiple currants, walking onions. There's even Myoga ginger in here. It's just crazy. More elderberries, lots more elderberries. And you can see everywhere there's a flag, there's an elderberry. The spacing is pretty far apart. It's typically between 5 to 7 feet between the plants. The spacing is very intentional. The spacing being as wide as it is makes the first year and second year kind of difficult because the elderberries take a while to grow and get their full stature. However, by year 3, the elderberries, this is going to be a sea of elderberry. You're going to hardly be able to see through here or even walk through here. You can see right here, this is a walkway between these sticks and it turns and goes this direction. This is going to be draped. This is going to be a tunnel between elderberries in 3 years' time because of how big they get. So even though it looks like it's really sparse now and it's giving an opportunity for a bunch of sedges and grasses to grow, which I would prefer not, it doesn't really matter because within a few years' time, this is going to be a multi-storied food forest. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to interplant later this year lots of kind of understory, more currants, good King Henry, a whole bunch of shade-loving, or shade-tolerant plants that'll be in between these elderberries. And I'm also going to establish a higher story of additional plantings of crops that will even grow above the elderberry. So we'll get multiple tiers in here. And it won't be as crazy as some people's food forests that get really, 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 really into it, but it's going to be pretty decent. I'm going to be really happy with what we can do. It just takes time. It's going to take a few years. But right now, it's just a punky meadow full of rocks and twigs, but it's going to turn into something real special in a couple years. And before I forget, this is one of my favorite brambles. This is a cultivar of black raspberry called Jewel. And I'm amazed to see any fruit at all here because these canes were dug up this spring, actually late spring, and planted here in these rows. And the deer are not giving them a break, but they are still growing. And I'm really happy to see that they fruited, even though I thought these 1-year-old canes were going to die. It looks like next year there's going to be a lot of black raspberries here. It's very exciting. So that's it for a little brief tour of the new little meadow. And the beginning is a rough time. It looks pretty rough to me, but I know that in a couple years there's going to be an immense amount of food and productivity coming out of the space for me and for the animals. If you have any questions about the kind of stuff that I'm doing or that we're doing around here that you see, just let me know. And I'm going to start attempting to upload more regularly, longer form videos, not just shorts all the time. And yeah, I would love to answer any questions anyone has. And I'm going to do kind of another intro video to what I'm doing coming up here soon. And I'll kind of lay out the things I would like to talk about and do. And I'm always open to feedback. So let me know what you think.